What if I told you that even with bad credit, you can still buy almost anything that you want? From cars to homes to furniture, even vacations. Sounds impossible, right? Well, the truth is, the rules of lending and financing have changed. Lenders, landlords, and retailers all know millions of Americans have less than perfect credit. And instead of locking people out, they've created alternative ways to qualify. Now, the real secret is knowing how to use these tools to your advantage while still protecting yourself from predatory traps. So, today I'm going to walk you through the insider strategies for buying cars, homes, and everyday essentials with bad credit, and even show you how to use those purchases to start rebuilding your financial future. So, stick with me until the very end because I'm also going to reveal a little known method that some people are using to qualify for things that they never thought possible, even with a credit score in the low 500s. So, let's start off. Let's begin with transportation because it's one of the first hurdles that people with bad credit actually face. Now, dealers and lenders know that you can't live without a car. And believe me, they've built entire industries around subprime auto lending. Now, that means even if your credit is bruised, you can almost always find financing. But here's the catch: interest rates are obviously higher. Now, on average, buyers with scores under 600 may see rates from 12% to 20% over the life of the loan. That's thousands of dollars extra. So, how do you flip the script? Well, step one, go to the credit unions. Now, unlike big banks, credit unions often approve loans for lower credit borrowers at much better terms. Walk into a dealership with pre approval in hand, and suddenly you're negotiating from a position of strength. Step two, look for buy here, pay here dealers that report payments to credit bureaus. Now, some don't, which means you get the car but no credit benefit. So always ask up front if they report. And if they do, every on time payment pushes your score higher, making your next purchase even cheaper. And here's a pro tip: don't just get the first approval, get quotes from multiple lenders. Now, some will compete for your business, even if you've got bad credit. Now, what about buying a home? Well, buying a home with bad credit is very possible, but you need to know the programs available. FHA loans allow scores as low as 580 with just 3.5% down. Now, for veterans, VA loans are even better, offering zero down. I'll say that again, zero down, and often with flexible credit requirements. Now, USDA loans for rural housing also allow lower scores, but what about the down payment? Now, that's where state and city down payment assistance programs comes in. Many offer grants or forgivable loans to cover part of the down payment and the closing costs. Now, if you pair one of these with an FHA or a VA loan, and suddenly buying a house with bad credit becomes extremely realistic. And by the way, don't forget co-signers. Now, a family member with good credit can help you qualify now while you focus on repairing your own score. Lenders will consider their creditworthiness alongside yours, giving you access to much better rates. Now, here's the kicker: some lenders are now using alternative data like rental payment history or even utility bills to approve borrowers who don't meet traditional credit standards. Now, that means paying your rent on time could actually help you buy that very first home. So, my credit warriors, just before we take a deeper dive, it's imperative you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game changing video that helps your credit situation. And I promise it will help you and you will appreciate it. So buckle up and let's plunge a bit deeper. Now, cars and homes are the big purchases, but the question is, what about everyday items like furniture, electronics, appliances, or even vacations? Well, with bad credit, traditional credit cards may be out of reach, but new tools are stepping in. So if you use buy now, pay later services like Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay and Zip, well, they let you break big purchases into installments, often without a hard credit check. Now, many don't report, unless, of course, you miss payments, meaning you can use them strategically without hurting your score. Rent to own stores are another option, but they can be risky. They let you walk out with a couch, a laptop, or a refrigerator today, and you can pay in weekly or monthly installments. So, what's the downside? Well, the overall cost can be double or even triple the item's retail value. So, the key here is discipline. Use these options only if you're sure you can finish the payments quickly. For travel and vacations, companies like Uplift and Affirm allow you to finance flights, hotels, and cruises in installments. Again, it only makes sense if you plan your budget carefully and pay on time. But the golden rule is this: never confuse access with affordability. Remember, just because you can get approved doesn't mean it's a good deal. Lenders will approve you with sky high rates, and your job is to shop smarter. Always compare terms. A 15% interest loan might sound painful, but if it's a short-term loan with low total cost, well, it may be very manageable. So look beyond monthly payments and calculate the total you'll have to pay. Leverage secured credit cards and credit builder loans. Now, these aren't for buying big items, but they are for rebuilding your score so that your next big purchase comes with much better terms. And don't be afraid to negotiate. Many lenders, landlords, even retailers are far more flexible than you may think. So, offering a larger down payment, providing proof of stable income, or showing consistent rent payment history, well, all those can tip the scales in your favor. Now, here's that little known method I promised: leasing to own. Now, some programs allow you to lease a car, a home, or even appliances with the option to buy later, and often with little to no credit check. Now, while it's not perfect, it does give you time to use the item now while building your credit for a better financing option later. For example, some rent to own housing programs will actually let you live in the home while a portion of your rent goes towards a future down payment. Now, this can be a huge game changer if your credit isn't strong enough for a mortgage today, but you're serious about owning in the near future. So let's recap. Bad credit doesn't mean you're locked out. You can still buy a car through subprime or credit union financing. You can still buy a home through FHA, VA, or USDA loans paired with down payment assistance. You can finance future electronics and even vacations using buy now, pay later services and rent to own, as long as you shop smart and avoid predatory deals. The key is to use those tools strategically, not just to buy things, but to rebuild your credit along the way. Because every smart payment that you make is another step towards financial freedom. So don't let bad credit hold you back. The rules have changed and now you can use them to your advantages. So, as always, thanks for watching, my credit warriors. Stay strong, stay smart. I'll see you guys on the next one.